Committee has issued a subpoena for the full Mueller report on Russian collusion and the Trump campaign, and the redacted document was released on Wednesday. Well, for more on this, Peter Matthews, a professor of political science, joins me now from Los Angeles. Thank you very much for joining us here on TRT World, Peter. So what is your take on the redacted version of the report and the speech by the Attorney General there just before it was handed over to Congress?
Well, the report was very defining. In fact, Mr. Mueller said that he could not conclude that no criminal action had occurred, especially when it came to obstruction of justice. That was the part he was very uncommitted on. And then he also recommended basically that the Congress has the ability to investigate further, and they can establish whether obstruction of justice or criminal activity occurred, which means it's pointing toward impeachment investigations, possibly. And Mr. Barr did not give us the full story with that first 4-page summary, when it was very crucial that he do so, because that's when many millions of people were watching. And at the beginning, if you compare his report, his 4-page summary, to what Mr. Mueller's report, even that came out was redacted, there was still differences in terms of the information available. Mueller had a lot more information that was different than what Barr had come out with.
So will the congressional Democrats fight this, Peter?
Absolutely, because they are the investigative arm of the government. The Congress and the Constitution is charged with being the oversight branch that actually has to investigate when there's a possibility of high crimes or misdemeanors. And by the way, the high crimes is different than just committing a common crime on the street like robbing a bank. These are crimes committed by high-level officials such as the president or anyone else possibly, and that means the bar is different. If he breach a trust with the public or the state or the community of the United States, then that could be considered a high crime if he violated the Constitution. He doesn't have to go out and rob a bank. So this has to be investigated carefully by the Congress, meticulously, and I'm sure they will be doing that. The Judiciary Committee already has subpoenaed information, the full Mueller report.
And so far, do you think the report has been more damaging to the president and the Republican Party or the Democrats itself?
It's difficult to say how it'll affect the election, but in general, I think it's been not very positive for the president, because even though he was, Mueller said that there was no collusion with Russia, there's still this obstruction of justice question, because Mueller did not come down and conclude that he was completely exonerated. And this is a problem with a doubt like that put forth. It makes it difficult for the president to go forward and to escape this until the investigation by Congress clears them completely. So I think it's damaging the Republican Party more, especially the president and the Democrats. And we'll see what happens in 2 years or a year and a half from now.
Well, let's wait and see. We do have to wrap it up here. Thank you very much, Peter Matthews.